It's an honor to be here. I thank you the opportunity for having a meeting with you and a discussion with you about the issues and problems of Futures Europe, because you are the representatives of the regions and local authorities, and as representatives of regions and cities and local authorities, you're an important link to the European Union's more than 500 million citizens. They sometimes may feel far away from the EU, but they feel close to you. That enables you to give them a voice, shape European policies and help us implement these effectively, to show to citizens that the EU has a positive impact on their daily lives. Under my portfolio, which covers education, culture, youth and sports, and the Joint Research Centre, the local dimension is not an afterthought. It is the sine qua non. Under the EU Treaty, my main role is to support Member States in their work. Needless to say that Member States means local and regional authorities as much as national ones. Honourable Members, the report you will discuss and adopt today gives me an excellent opportunity to focus on some hugely important issues. First of all, I would like to thank Borboj Csaba for his excellent report. It captures the challenges facing us today very well. Challenges that have been dominating the news and citizens' minds. Challenges that I will work hard to help resolve during my mandate. The first one is violent radicalisation and how we ensure that education plays its role in preventing it. Behind every attack, there are terrorists, cold criminals attacking our fundamental values and our way of life. And there are underlying factors, the social exclusion and the lack of belonging that we, policymakers, must address. How is it possible that young people born in Europe, raised in our societies, who spend thousands of hours in front of our teachers, leave school without the basic skills to find a job and without the minimum sense of belonging, are brainwashed in months or even weeks, and in the worst case, commit unbearable atrocities against their own communities? I do not have a simple answer to this question, but I do know, we all know, that education is part of the solution. As President Markku Markkula said in his introductory remarks, education is the best safety net against social exclusion. And most importantly, it's the best means of conveying and strengthening the shared values that lie at the heart of our societies. After the Charlie Hebdo attacks, the French education minister, Ms. Vallaud-Belkacem, and myself called for a dedicated meeting of EU education ministers in Paris on 17th of March 2015. We all committed to promoting citizenship and the common values of freedom, tolerance, and non-discrimination through education. And all Member States asked the Commission to support them in this at European level. At the heart of this endeavour will be the local heroes who are on the front line of the fight against radicalisation. It is in regions and cities that we need to overcome exclusion and radicalisation. The EU's role is certainly not to act instead of. On the contrary, I want regional leaders, mayors, heads of local NGOs, sport clubs, teachers and school directors to know that the EU cares and can support them in many ways. We can help them make a difference on the ground. How? I will soon present concrete actions. Let me already outline some of them. First, I want us to intensify exchanges among Member States and identify what works. Violent radicalisation is a Europe-wide problem, and regions and cities will benefit from discovering and implementing initiatives that have already led to good results somewhere else. Second, we need to make the most of EU funds. Our Erasmus Plus program has a crucial role here. I have already ensured that over the coming years, 400 million euros will be available for projects promoting civic values and inclusion. Moreover, this month, I will launch a dedicated call of 13 million euros for projects in this field. Our funds must reach the grassroots level. They must be made available to the regions and cities that are confronted with the issue of social exclusion. Some need it more than others. Third, we need to do more to support teachers. They are often in the front line, and they sometimes feel helpless. The role of the Radicalization Awareness Network is critical. So are other initiatives like e-twinning, an online platform connecting 300,000 teachers across Europe that already offers courses on citizenship and intercultural dialogue, for example. I plan to extend this network beyond the EU's borders, especially to our neighbors facing similar problems, creating virtual Erasmus exchanges between young people from European and third countries. We will soon launch a pilot project targeting 10,000 students in the first year. Fourth, I intend to create a specific award for inclusive sports clubs to support and acknowledge their invaluable work. I will also make sure that role models, be they sports people, entrepreneurs, artists, or even former radicalized persons, can go to schools to share their experiences with pupils and motivate them. It tends to take very little money to make these exchanges happen, yet local actors sometimes struggle to find it. We will help them get it. These are only a few of the steps I will propose. I will be more than happy to come back here and present in due course all initiatives and ask for your support in implementing them. I'm also ready to discuss with you the integration of newly arrived refugees and migrants. We must not mix the issue with the specific question of radicalization. And here again, education has a vital part to play. The Commission is preparing a set of initiatives to support the integration of refugees and migrants. Education will have a central role in it. Ladies and gentlemen, inclusive education is the cornerstone of all those actions and takes me to the second point I want to discuss with you today: investment in education. In recent years, the vast majority of member states have reduced their investment in education, while countries like China, India, Australia, and Brazil are catching up quickly. We need to spend more on education and spend wisely, not only to stay competitive. We owe it to Europeans. Every one of them deserves a chance in life. Enhancing human capital must be seen not as an expenditure, but as an investment. I know that striking the balance between this kind of investment and fiscal consolidation is not easy. But the EU is offering support, in particular through the Investment Plan for Europe. You are familiar with the European Fund for Strategic Investments. But how many of you know that it can be crucial for education? Infrastructure projects, for example, could benefit from the fund. This could make it possible to support the building or renovating of schools and vocational training institutions, housing for students, or innovation campuses. Moreover, the European Investment Bank offers additional opportunities through its ongoing activities. In 2014 alone, it invested 4.8 billion euros in education. The investment plan has had a great start, but so far, unfortunately, no education-related projects have been selected for funding. Since the regions and local authorities are responsible for the majority of public investment in the European Union, you have an important role to play here. This is why I ask you to help mobilize the stakeholders in the education sectors to identify, develop, and submit projects. I also asked you to gather different projects at regional level to create a critical mass and reach the thresholds. Finally, I encourage you to make the most of the European structural and regional funds. They are perfectly compatible with the investment plan and the European Investment Bank's other work. The Commission will soon present guidelines on how beneficiaries can use a blend of these instruments, which will be particularly useful in education. All the good ideas to improve our education and training systems need to be translated into concrete projects. The new advisory service of the European Investment Bank, the so-called HUB, is now operational, and applications for technical assistance can be submitted online. We will need regional and local authorities to make the investment plan work for education. I want to work with you to ensure that we make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now turn to the European Commission in-house science service, the Joint Research Centre. I'm very pleased that your committee has been working successfully with the JRC. You've organized a number of joint events on issues such as smart specialization or sustainable urban development. This will continue in 2016, and I'm happy that the annual JRC conference, which this year will focus on human capital development, will be organized in close cooperation with your committee. And it is an honor that you have invited the JRC to take part in your flagship regional summit to be held in Bratislava on 8th and 9th of July. Another area where the JRC and your committee should work more closely together is the territorial dimension of a range of EU policies. The JRC has recognized expertise in territorial impact assessment, the smart specialization process, as well as modeling capabilities which have already been successfully used in a number of joint projects. However, I believe that we need a more integrated approach. The Knowledge Center for Territorial Policies, currently being developed by the JRC in partnership with the Commission's Directorate General for Regional and Urban Development, will address this. This Knowledge Center will provide access to data, interactive tools, and a clearinghouse for policy questions. It will complement the Research and Innovation Observatory, which already monitors and analyzes developments in this field at EU and national levels, and can be a valuable reference for regions and cities. I'm also very pleased to inform you that in 2016, one of the JRC's flagship initiatives, Science Meets Parliaments, will be extended to the regional level. The objective is to bring scientists and policymakers together for a continuous dialogue that benefits both sides. This year, we will put an emphasis on the countries of the Danube region. I invite the Committee of the Regions to get involved in the preparations. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Markku, Europe is facing unprecedented challenges today. We will only tackle them successfully if we work together. Regions and cities have a crucial role to play in this. I count on you. Thank you very much.